Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for March 2025. You have this card. It says a personal issue reaches resolution. You also, and it's full moon in Cancer. This card. You have this balanced spirituality and practicality card. So, which is good for everyone right now. Neptune and Pisces. I blame Neptune and Pisces for everything right now, and because we're getting to the end, even though it will move into Aries and it will retrograde back into Pisces this year before officially leaving at the end of the year. Neptune and Pisces, there's definitely a need to balance spiritual ideas with like the practical earth, the world, and so we do have to balance those two things out. If you do have any issues, you could be correcting those things as well. You have the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the High Priestess. Knight of Cups could be a Knight in Shining Armor. You've been getting a lot of love cards, and yes, we do have Venus retrograde, but number one, Venus is not like Mercury retrograde necessarily. Number two, I think something people don't people just forget about Venus retrograde is you can actually meet the love of your life during Venus retrograde, and yes, it could bring out you could also meet a total disaster, but at the same time, Venus retrograde can represent fated connections, and so again, there could be a very good person coming in for you, for those of you that want love. On top of that, you go down from the Knight of Cups to the Five of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. This to me would represent taking a risk on a dream or something that you're dreaming of having in your life. He is normally looking into this cup, and he is scrying, and he is imagining his future. He's standing in the desert, but he has this water flowing in front of him, and so he needs to take the risk of planting seeds in front of that water, because even though he's in the desert, there's water, so those seeds will grow. And I think it would be an amazing time for you to work towards some sort of dream or goal, wish, or dream, and I would just do it. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about taking the lead and getting out of a comfort zone. He's standing at the top of this castle, and his village is right down here, and he needs to leave a comfort zone and get out into the world. This comes up for a lot of signs right now, mostly because we need variety. I think the universe is, and I say I think because I genuinely don't know. It's just a theory I have. It's nothing intuitive, right? I'm just adding together the fact that these cards constantly come up for people. So the only conclusion I can draw, and again, not intuitive necessarily, but it's just kind of like a hunch that I have, that the universe is trying to get people to experience variety and trying to get people to come up with other ways of doing things or new ways to live their lives and more exciting ways to live their lives as well. I think COVID was extremely boring. And it kind of, obviously we were all forced into isolation and, not doing things. And I think we're still stuck a little bit in that COVID mentality. I see it all the time. It's I still see people who never leave their houses and, all that other stuff, right? So it's we're still in that mindset, and I think we need to expand. And so really I feel Two of Wands is encouraging people to expand their boundaries. But in the sense that you go on adventures or you learn new things, those are the types of boundaries I would be expanding. You have the High Priestess, very intuitive time, and so I would be, definitely listening to your intuition. I have a feeling all three water signs are probably going to get the High Priestess or something similar, so I don't know, doesn't really surprise me. One thing I will say is we go up to the Hierophant. These two are divine counterparts, and I do feel that they are better divine counterparts than the Emperor and the Empress, because it's a more spiritual connection. So if you do want love, it is a good time for love for water signs, believe it or not. So, you could be meeting a divine counterpart, but it could require a risk. With the Knight of Cups, you have the World. The World, of course, is an accomplishment or an achievement, so a lot of you could be accomplishing or trying to accomplish big things. Like I said, dream on the Knight of Cups. The World says you have the opportunity to create your own world, and the Two of Wands, you have the whole world in your hands. So if there are changes that you want to see in your world, all you have to do is make those changes and you will be successful. So I would it's definitely a time to do that. With the Two of Wands, you have the Hangman. Yeah, the Hangman says you could be making moves on things that you've been waiting for a long time. I said to Pisces, I feel that right now, before this month, March, right? It's we've been in this foundational time. If you've been working on anything new business, new career, new direction in your life, a lot of the work you've been doing is foundational. The problem with foundational work is that we don't really see much for it. It's if you're building a business, it's usually at the beginning of the business, you don't see much, right? It's you're kind of like building websites, or maybe you're doing the behind the scenes work to get everything set up. It's like, it's kind of like thankless work, right? Because you don't get much for it until later. And I would say the good news is that I think a lot of people now, it's like we're transitioning into actually getting a result for that work that we've done. And so I feel a lot of you are going to be making progress. You know, the hangman, he's done getting the answers he's needed. He has sacrificed movement, but his head is glowing, so he's getting answers, and now he can finally move forward. So I feel a lot of you are making progress, which is great. With the High Priestess, you have the Page of Swords. Don't just let things pop into your head and do nothing about it, right? It's like the High Priestess, she maybe gets intuitions. She gets random thoughts that pop into her head during the day. The Page of Swords needs to be curious. He needs to look into those things. Like, he just needs to do research and look into the random thoughts and ideas that pop into his head. And that's what I would do with this card. It's like, if you have an intuition, go and research it. Go and look into it. See what happens. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Unrevealed Secrets card. It says, what is happening on the surface is not what you'll see if you look deeper. You have this Future card. It says, you have perfect clarity in a situation. Trust your inner knowingness. Yes, your intuition is telling you something. We have the High Priestess. She is a card of secrets. So you could be actually revealing a secret, or you could be uncovering some information in a secret. So that could be happening for you. You have the Justice card, the Five of Swords, and the Strength card. Justice is, of course, cause and effect. And it's also justice. And some of you could be feeling like you're getting justice. I do feel that water signs could be feeling that they're getting justice financially. We go down to the Five of Pentacles here. But this is showing up in the good stuff. So Five of Pentacles and the good stuff would represent coming out of the cold and, you know, experiencing better finances or changes in your finances. So that's definitely possible. You have the Five of Swords. I definitely feel this is a risk that you have to take. High Priestess, the Hierophant, Knight of Cups to the Three of Pentacles, for sure. The Three of Pentacles would be the risk of putting something on display. You know, he is displaying his work on this card. And the thing about the Three of Pentacles is he has done a very good job. This is a card of quality work. So if you are thinking about putting your work on display or showing something off, now would definitely be a very good time for you to do that with the Five of Swords. You know, I think this is a risk that would definitely pay off for you with the Five of Swords. And yeah, I would just do it. I also do feel that Cancer in particular is, you definitely seem to be in this like weird transition time with people in your life. It's like, I don't really have a good example. Like, I wish I had a better example for you, but it's like, I remember when I was younger, it's like I used to have this group of friends from work, and we would go out all the time and stuff like that, right? And then it's like two of the people from that group got married, and we literally never saw or heard from them again, right? Just disappeared. And I remember which I understand. I'm not hating on the whole marriage thing, right? But it's like it was like one of those periods of time where it was like kind of sad, because I used to have fun with those people, and then now I'm choking. And then they're not part of your life anymore. Which is just, kind of like a natural part of life, I guess. But, I feel that for some of you, Cancer, like that's the best way I can describe it. It's like maybe you're still the single friend, and maybe all your friends are getting married or something like that. I feel like I've said this to you before, but it's like that's the feeling I get off of the Five of Swords. Is it a bad thing? No. I like, if anything, I would say with the Hierophant here that you're probably maturing, or it's like you're deciding that you're going to mature. I'm not saying that you have to, like, you also have to get married, but I think you could be deciding to do other things with your life. You have the Strength card. It's definitely a time of strength for water signs as well. Strength is about inner strength. This is your inner voice or your inner critic, and she is getting her inner voice to submit to her. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be doing a lot of work on your inner talk or your inner voice. And yeah, I just think that, conquering your inner voice would be a good thing for you right now. With the Justice card, you have the Empress. Definitely more abundance coming in for you with that Five of Pentacles showing up in the good stuff. So, Justice with Empress can represent getting a better result for the work that you do. Again, Empress does not have to work hard to grow that wheat in front of her. She just waves that scepter and it grows. So a lot of you could be like discovering ways to get better results for the work you do. And of course, that would be a good thing. With the Five of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords can represent a never-ending nightmare. And but I feel this is like needing that you need to make a change with that Five of Swords. I don't really feel too bad about this, and I actually consider this to be the worst card in the tarot, the Nine of Swords. But like I feel, like I said, I feel like this is you realizing that you need to make a change in your life, or that you do need to get a better result for the work that you do, or that that yes, some of your friends have moved on and it's time to, go find new friends, or, go do something else with your time, right? With the Strength card, you have the Four of Cups. I really just get this, like, should I, shouldn't I type of thing. I'm also getting like he loves me not on this card as well. Why? I don't know. I can't explain it here, Cancer, but it's almost like you're trying to make a decision. I'm not saying it's love, right? It's like that message was very intuitive, and it's like you're going back and forth on a decision or something like that. I don't know. It's just popping into my head. I wish I had a better answer for you. I mean, honestly, if you are trying to make a decision on something, I think you're probably going to move towards it, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be love. Like I said, this could be a work decision, a business decision, something like that. But the Eight of Wands would represent making a move. So, I think that you are going to make a move on whatever this choice is. Pretty weird, because the Four of Cups does not really represent a choice or decision. It kind of does, but not really. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this community card and this change card. Can't make that up. I was literally talking about a change in your group, and there you go. I didn't even see that community card, so there you go. Definitely a change. I feel like that you could be, that this is leading to bigger changes in your life, and, making bigger moves. So ultimately, I think this is a good thing. You have the Hierophant, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. The Hierophant is blessing these two people in front of him. And one thing I feel for the Hierophant, for you, Cancer, is that if you've been spending time learning or educating yourself about something, that you could be getting blessings. Like, this could be you finally getting a job based off your education level, or, maybe you've been taking classes or something to improve your work education. And I feel it's definitely popping into my head. So I feel if you've been doing that this could be you getting the benefits of that work. Remember what I said about foundational work. Again, if you go to college, or even if you're too old to go to college, which isn't a thing, but even if you just got some sort of certification or whatever, it's like that's the foundational level, and I feel like you're getting above that foundational level with your reading, which is good, and you could be finally getting the blessings or the results. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. So there could be quick success coming in for you. I also feel that there could be good news or something like that coming in for you. Eight of Wands can be communication. And so there could be good news or communication coming in for you, probably around work for most of you, based off of the cards that are showing up here. I'm also getting something about approval as well. So if you've been waiting to be approved for something, this could be you getting approval, which also pops into my head. You have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. Of course, we are in a time of teamwork. But Three of Pentacles, I feel, is saying you need to put your skills on display. He has done a good job. This is a card of quality work. So these people are celebrating the work that he has done. And, I think that for a lot of you, whatever it is you do for a living, or, if you have some sort of skill, whatever it is, I would put it on display, or make sure people are seeing you do the skill so that you can get the credit, right? Here you go. With the Hierophant, you have the Five of Swords. Definitely some sort of risk. Some of you could be taking a risk on a person, like I said. You could also be taking a risk. You could also be walking away from a belief system. We do have Neptune and Pisces this year. Neptune will move into Aries, but then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief. Traditional belief is anything that you've believed just because, right? And so with Neptune and Pisces, in getting to the end, we could be moving away from traditional beliefs, like about anything, or we could be changing our beliefs, and a lot of people are doing this. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, your emotions overflowing, being very happy. Again, this could be a love offer for some of you going this way. The Ace of Cups also wants you to follow your heart. And with the Eight of Wands, it's literally saying the faster you move towards your heart, the faster you'll be successful, or the faster your heart will overflow with that Ace of Cups. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like a rushing energy, and yeah, I would say like no rushing at this time, no like forcing things to happen. If you try to do that, you're probably going to have a hard time. he is stressing this horse out, right? This horse looks stressed out because he is forcing it to run. The Empress doesn't force anything to happen. She allows things to happen. So the Knight of Swords says if you find yourself in any situation where you have to like force it to work, it's probably not the right situation for you. Anything that just does work is probably the right situation for you. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this discovery card. It says, there is still an essential piece of the puzzle that you have yet to discover. A missing piece of information must fall into place before you will know your next step. The good news is it's coming up in the good stuff, so you could be discovering the missing piece to your puzzle. You have this connection card. It says, a special connection will open doors for you on your path. It may be a partner or a mentor, a client, or a helpful friend. Yes, the whole entire reading talks about this, and you're all different. So like I said, it doesn't have to be love. It could be a mentor, a friend, a person, but you definitely are finding like a missing piece of the puzzle due to other people. Three of Pentacles. You know, these people on the Three of Pentacles are helping him complete his vision. So if you are missing pieces, it looks to me like people could be helping. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about planting seeds in a new direction. So a lot of you could be kind of like working towards new things, new ideas, new goals, new achievements. And obviously the Six of Pentacles would represent growth. Six of Pentacles to me is planting seeds, but in the good stuff, it would say that those seeds are growing. So a lot of you could just be seeing growth happen. You have the Nine of Wands. I just get this thing about like taking a risk. It's almost like I think you need to look at your life and, you know, look at where you have put up boundaries, and like that's the area of your life that you should take a risk in. That does not mean that you cannot approach whatever this thing is with boundaries, right? But what it does mean is maybe you have to let your guard down a little bit to be successful. It's like, obviously, if you want love, you can't be like a porcupine and, you know, completely spiky around a new person. Like, you have to open up a little bit. That doesn't mean you have to, like, you know, completely throw yourself into something. And, you know, I think that there's an area of balance, of course, where, you know, you're not completely shut down, but you're open up a little bit. And, you know, I feel like that could be the risk you're taking. Same thing with work or business. You know, if I don't think this reading is one thing. You know, it's like a lot of the times when I do readings, yes, they end up being about one message. But really, I think this reading is about a lot of things going on. And, you know, maybe if you've had business failures in the past or work failures, it's like you also have to be open to failure again. And that's what that card is saying. You have the Five of Pentacles, which says you are coming out of the cold. I feel like you're believing in your strength more. You know, I think it's been hard for you to believe in your strength, but you have the strength card in this reading. The trick with the Five of Pentacles is to not call attention to your weaknesses. It is to double down on your strengths. And I feel that's kind of what you're doing here. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is about alchemy, turning one thing into another. And so I feel it would be a great time to turn any negatives into positives, like you are probably doing that with this card showing up in the good stuff. So that's nice. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Two of Cups. Are you kidding? Yes, you cannot be a porcupine if you want love. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I have to be a porcupine because I've been hurt, then you're not ready for love yet. And I would go and heal. For sure, right? There's no shame in, you know, putting in the work and healing yourself. So that's what I would do here. But Two of Cups could be a person who's different than your usual type, which I'm pretty sure you get with me every single reading. So for those of you that want love, definitely could be a different person. I would say for all of you, the Two of Cups is an amazing card for communicating with your higher self. This is you and your higher self. So a great time for, you know, especially with the High Priestess, great time for meditation, you know, tapping into your intuition, all that other stuff. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles. Foundation, right? The King of Pentacles is a foundational card to me. He is the card of wealth and maintaining your wealth, but he is very foundational. Like, he does what works, and which is a good thing, right? But it's coming up in the good stuff, so you're definitely improving your wealth, or you could be increasing your wealth here in work or business or whatever you do. But pretty good here, Cancer. Let's see what comes up for you. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. You cannot make this up. You have this card that says risk on it, and it even has these three pentacles on it. You can't make that up, Cancer. So I think you need to take the risk of putting your skills on display, right? With the 3 pentacles, like, something you've learned, and it could be a lesson you've learned. And again, this could be in love as well. It's like if you've learned lessons in love, if I can talk, maybe you can't talk. Maybe that's a problem, is you're having a hard time, you're tongue tied around a person here, Cancer, or something. But it's like if you have learned things in relationships, you can also put those skills on display by creating a successful relationship. So definitely time for risk. You have this achievement card. You have the World. This card here is the Sun in Capricorn. The World is Capricorn. So, definitely could be some sort of achievement or success coming in for you at this time. You have this Exalted card. Are you kidding? This card says like something is divinely blessed in your life. Something is meant to be in your life. It's like the universe is blessing you with something. So yeah, definitely. Next, you have this Independence card. I feel like you have learned independence for sure. Like sometimes 3 of Pentacles. Also, you had something else here that I was looking at. But anyway, doesn't matter. I think you've learned how to be independent. And finally, you have this Revenge card. I would be careful of just people. Venus retrograde, at the beginning of the month. Mercury retrograde at the end of the month. I would definitely be careful of people from the past, just in general. But overall, pretty good reading here, Cancer. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.